As we inch closer to 1st February every year, everyone watches out for one key thing, the union budget. From India Inc. to the stock market to the common man, the union budget impacts nearly all of us. But why exactly is the budget such an important event? So basically just how families make budgets so that they can gauge their household expenses and hence know how much they can spend on, say groceries, essentials and on luxuries. The government makes a budget every year to decide how much the country has spent and how much we can spend for the country in the coming year. The union budget basically shapes the economy of the country and its policies, and budget announcements have long-term impacts. Of course, considering India is a large family of over 130 crore people, it's a lot more complicated. The government needs to ensure that money is allocated where it's needed the most. So they divide it into sectors like health, defense, railways, infrastructure, taxation such as personal taxes, banking and so on. Depending on the needs of each sector, the government allocates portions of their funds. One of the most important parts of the budget is public welfare. Who needs the money the most? What policy changes will help those who are vulnerable? And this includes literally everyone: taxpayers, women, farmers, businessmen. So depending on the needs and priorities of these sections of society for the year, announcements are made accordingly. So to include all of this, there's a bunch of documents that make up the budget. These documents are uploaded after the Finance Minister's statement in the Lok Sabha and they can be accessed by anyone. It starts with the FM speech, which is actually just a minor part of the budget document, though the most essential one. The first part of this, which is Part A, details the expectations and reform strategy of the upcoming year for various sectors like health, education, rural, urban, capital markets, SMEs and other such categories. This is also the section that contains welfare schemes planned for targeted groups like women and students. This part also details the budget targets like the fiscal deficit for the year, divestment and government borrowings. The second part of the budget, that is Part B, is the one that has direct and indirect tax announcements. This excludes GST because that is not in the purview of the union budget. This is also when the Finance Minister announces any changes in income tax slabs and customs and excise duties in the coming fiscal, along with other things. Basically, through the budget, the government identifies the areas in the economy which require reforms, and policy and monetary allocation changes are made accordingly.